You know, man, there's something about a hog that it just seems like it's made to be stalked down and shot with a bow. South of the border. Not Mexico, South Carolina. Getting a little stretch in, are you?
Oh, should I get that crack?
I think you should. That's south of the border I don't want to see.
Did you ever walk around without a camera on?
Well, we pulled into Nicky's that night and we met up with him and we went in and looked at some of his trophies, and I'm gonna tell you what, the boy can shoot a bow and he's got the proof all over the wall. You know, there's a big difference between a hunter, in my opinion, and a killer. And Nicky definitely fits into the second category. So we had a couple days and we pulled into the hunting ground that next morning, and we were gonna meet the guides that were gonna show us around the property.
Dead show on the radio, shirts off, beer's cold. Some old Milwaukee from a truck stop down the road.
So after we met the guys and we got a little bit of a tour of the property, flung a few arrows just to make sure everything was sighted in right. And then that evening we decided that we were gonna hang an old man tree stand and just sit and see what came by. We sat there, we saw some hogs, we had some swirling winds, some things to contend with. We didn't get anything in bow range, but the next day we were gonna get to do my favorite thing, which is spot and stalk. Do it to it. There were some wallows there that looked like elk wallows. It was unbelievable the amount of sign that you see on this place. You can see where the hog's been rubbing up against these trees, putting the mud on the trees right there. So once we got in there, it was thick. I mean, literally you could not see 3 yards in some spots. Spot and stalk, baby. The muzzy buried up right in the right spot too. Well, we could hear some hogs milling around to our right. So we headed over in that general direction, and it wasn't long before we found ourselves amongst them, son. I mean, they were everywhere. Size boar. He's a medium-sized boar. Take some of that, boy. He didn't tote that load too well. He's a fat little sucker. He's down, I can see his feet right there. And the blood splatter is tremendous. That hog sort of was like a, if you've ever used a paint sprayer, can you get on him? Yeah. Size boar. He's a medium-sized boar. You some Josh? Oh, there's nothing better than bow hunting in the whole world, especially when you're down here in the Florida jungle and you get to shoot 2 hogs and say, roll freaking tide, baby. There's hogs right over there. I can see them making their way through the tree. I've never seen this many hogs.
I thought you were gonna get charged.
I did too, like, I was like, I was thinking, I was preparing for a 2-yard spine shot like that, you know. Get the doggone blood everywhere, man. That hog sort of was like a, if you've ever used a paint sprayer, yeah. He'll eat good now. My red arrow workout in, my red arrow curls. It's important to work out. Tell the folks at home how you don't like PSE. Go ahead and do her like this. Let's get out of here. Got buried in sand, but it still got plenty of good blood. The luminok was glowing bright when it hit her. Not a very hard blood trail to follow right here. There she is right there. She may have gone, I don't know what, 30 yards. That right there ate her lunch. They can't deal with too much of that. If you look out over this farm and you see the sign that Nikki has, I mean, from rooting up the fields to rooting in the woods, and they got wallows all back through here. It look like elk wallows, I'm telling you. These hogs were not the biggest hogs. I mean, they were about the size of a backstreet boy. After we got these 2 hogs down, we called up Nicky, and he brought the swamp buggy in, and we went back to camp to skin up some hogs. We had shot these hogs all the way on the other side of the property, but like we do everywhere we go, we set out a few buckeye cams to monitor the other areas that we weren't hunting to make sure we weren't missing anything. We came back to camp, checked the buckeye cams, and put a game plan together for midday. The trail camera pictures that we were getting were phenomenal in this place. It was just a high density of hogs, and the hogs that were in there were big. I mean, some of them were real big. You know, we're running out of time because we were only there for 2 days. We started slipping through this Florida jungle, and we were finding out that it was gonna be real tough to see a hog, much less get a shot at one. I mean, you're dealing with little tiny pockets of open space and just vast, vast palmetto thickets. You've got a wild animal that doesn't know that, you know, he's not in Hollywood. He's not gonna pose pretty for the camera. He's gonna do everything he can to avoid humans and stay away from getting shot with an arrow through both of his lungs. My cameraman Josh and I are slipping down this road, and I lock eyes on the big hog that we've seen on the trail camera pictures. That was probably the worst thing that could have happened to me, because once I saw this big hog, I wasn't gonna settle for anything less. I had a shot at a couple 150 pounders, I mean good hogs. And in retrospect, I was a little bit of an undercover tree hugger. I should have shot at those hogs. I should have shot one of those hogs. I could have killed that boar right there. But I tell you what though, it was so much fun. I mean, we stalked these hogs, we chased them all over, we got within bow range. We got within 4 yards of the big hog that we wanted to kill, but it was so thick that we couldn't see it. My desire to kill a big trophy boar hog got the best of me. Never, never, never pass on the chance to kill. Never do that. Swamp buggy time. Well, I was pumped up, man. We were in hog country. We were kicking it on the swamp buggy, getting the lay of the land, just having a good time, man. Being country boys, being outdoors. Then that evening, we put the game plan together for exactly how some of these hogs were gonna die.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's good, man. Well, another thing about Florida is you got a lot of bonus targets running around in the form of an armadillo. A good way to warm up and get some target practice in is to pop a few armadillos on the way to the hunt.
Just running with the wild from up in Big Sky, Montana.
A muzzy broadhead will turn the armadillo inside out.
Learning to live with what's around him. Oh, just trying to survive. That's a mountain man. Oh, that's a mountain man.
We've been hunting in this thick stuff where we can barely see the hogs. I said, let's get out in these cow pastures and stuff where we can maybe air out some long shots on them, or we can, at least see them to where we can put a stalk on them.
To that West Virginia line.
So we get out there on this hunt, and we're stalking down this little creek bottom, and we spot this huge group of hogs.
This is what Maverick and Goose might call a target-rich environment.
Now we're putting a game plan together on how we're gonna slip around these hogs and get a shot at one, and then all of a sudden they start heading right toward us. The only thing on this creek bed that we had to get behind was just this lonely tree. So we all jump behind this one tree, and the hogs start picking up speed coming toward us. This was mayhem, dude. I mean, these hogs were charging into this little water hole, and we had a matter of seconds to kind of make up our mind what we were gonna do. Nikki draws back and flings one at these first hogs and misses just low. Let's run it back and take a look at the hog in the left side of your screen that's got spots on it. That's the one I was drawing a bead on. Let's run it back.
That's three today. That's three today.
Yeah,
another
babe,
15 minutes, we'll get another one. Come on.
They were going right to that water.
They're going to that water, and we messed up. We got too close to the tree right there. We were, they were going to be 5 yards away, but there was two of us and a cameraman. Yeah. You think you got any lungs on that?
I may have.
I think it's still bubbling.
I think it's some heart-lung area. Put it on his butt, I know that much. Hey, this right here is that's the pork chop right there is what that is, man.
Let me tell you, this is dangerous, this here. And I'll tell you why. Because when you cook them like this,
People try to hurt you.
if you're the last one reaching for a piece of meat, you got a fork in your hand.
Well, Nikki, buddy, I gotta thank you, man. I mean, we had a great time down at your place. We smoked some hogs. We killed 3 hogs in one day of hunting. Phenomenal place that Nikki Roth's got down there with Archery Outfitters, and You definitely, if you want to get the hog hunt of a lifetime or a deer hunt or anything else, Nicky has got the spots. Give him a call. Fans of Red Arrow TV can come with us on this hunt next year. That's right, we've got 12 spots left and we're heading down to Archery Outfitters next spring with Nicky Roth to do some more hog hunting. If you're interested in going on this trip with us, log on to redarrowtv.com. We're just going to have to keep our eyes peeled, really, and look for some hog signs. That's what we're going to have to do. You know, it doesn't look like anything's been through here today.
Armadillo, can you hear me? Armadillo, you.
86 Chevrolet, drinking on the tailgate. It's alright, tomorrow we can sleep in late. Pull off the dirt road where I come from. 3 days
That'll get your blood pumping in the morning.
we had some fun.
That's south of the border. I don't want to see.